So we're back on 94.7 FM, the Gospel Giant, Dr. the Doctor in the chat room, and I am here with Mark, Lazarius, Kelly, and Temple, and now we're going to talk about relationships. Yay! So I kind of want to hear. I want you guys to be as transparent as you feel comfortable. Telling me about relationships in the college world versus what you experienced in high school. I was telling you guys a little bit off camera about me in the olden days, as y'all call it, when the young guys waited on the freshman girls to get to campus, and how that was just almost a tradition, back in the day. So just tell me how you have experienced relationships in this space of your life.
Honestly, I think that for our generation, I think that we take relationships a bit too seriously, in my opinion. I wish that this generation dated more instead of try to, we don't get to know each other. We're just like, oh, I like you, you like me too, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. And it doesn't really work like that. And that's why a lot of relationships fail. Like they don't work because you don't know the person that you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's okay to date. It's okay. It's okay to take this person on a date one day, and it's just dating. We try to sexualize things and make it more than what it is, when really it's just okay,
So when you say it's okay to date, I also heard you say you can go on a date with this person and that person. You're saying not exclusively, but just to date in general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I clarified. That's all for the audience.
Of course, coming from a male, I don't like relationships. I feel like they're very idiotic. I feel like relationships are very idiotic, just simply because at the young age that we're at, everybody's not mature, and I feel like in high school, relationships were a big thing, because really and truthfully, you really don't see the end of the tunnel in high school. You just okay, we're gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend really till about 12th grade hit, and that's normally when people start breaking up and separating and things like that. Then when you get to college, it's really for some people, and majority of people, it's their first time being single sometime in forever. So now they're trying to branch out, see what is, you don't know exactly what you like until you get to college, because you have so many more options as far as personalities and what people have to offer, and that really shows when you get to college. I do agree with her when it comes to dating. I feel like you should be able to go on a date. I agree and disagree, because it's the male's job really to provide for a woman, and if I go on multiple dates, then I'm really just losing a lot of money out of my pocket if it doesn't go the way that I want it to. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that. So for me, sexual encounters are never the goal of the date. The goal of the date is to see you in a one-on-one scenario, and actually talk to you and see how you think and your mindset, and then we could go home. It don't have to be nothing more than that. But like I said, I agree with it, and the fact that I feel like in college you have so much more time really to just branch out and get to know people. But I disagree with it in the fact that most times the male is paying for the date, especially if the girl is just now getting to know you. So you're really just losing a lot of money. You got a lot of failed attempts. And a girl could very well go on a date with you and not be interested in you and really just want some free food. So,
That's funny, but that's very true.
I think in college it's just really kind of not a big, well, not college, I know it's a big deal, but then it's not. It's kind of you kind of need to focus on yourself more than a relationship for some people, and then on the other side it's just that's all they focus on. Like they don't go to class, things of that nature. Because I really see everything because I'm a resident assistant, so I'm in the dorms with like so many different kind of people, and so like all I've seen is just a lot of people just like, I think it's really a big thing on maturity and just on like where you are in your life. And it's like, if you know yourself, then what do you stand for? Just like, what do you want to get out of this? Like, some people are sometimes, looking for a hookup every now and then, but as long as you got that understanding with yourself and like know what you're looking for, then I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think for me, high school and college kind of go hand in hand for me as far as relationships, like just seeing it. I don't think much has really changed because I have seen relationships that have lasted from high school to college. And I have seen relationships that have flourished in college, they've been together now for 2 years. And I really just feel like it's more so like in what you want, like you know what you want. And I feel like another downfall is people don't know how to communicate that anymore. Like they're afraid to say their desires and wants and needs out of a person. Like if you just solely want to be friends with that person, let that be known. If you want to grow with that person, let that be known. I feel like a lot of people walk into situations really blind, and that's what causes like a lot of issues because it's kind of like a girl's standpoint, of course, is going to be more vulnerable than a boy's. So if you're coming to take me on dates, I'm going to assume, which is the mess up number one, but I'm going to assume, okay, maybe we could, maybe we're working towards something, maybe we are going on more dates, maybe, this could go this and that. And it's like, how many dates do you necessarily need to go on in order to sit there and be like, okay,
what's the number?
Yeah, like, what are we doing? Because, you can sit up here and date a person for a year, you've literally wasted a whole year, how I look at it. So it's kind of like, I just look at it more so like, people know what they want, just communicate it, in a sense. Because, high school and college, they're all doing the same thing. You have cheaters, you have faithful, you have confused. So
that's true.
Communication is like really bad among like people within my generation specifically. I know I literally like told a girl I didn't want her and didn't want to talk to her, and every time she see me, she asks me, "Am I coming home with her?" So I'm just trying to see what's the disconnect, honestly. Because some people like it's like you could be straightforward with somebody and they still don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. I don't know. Maybe they didn't go to elementary school. They just do not know how to
get better as you get older.
It's horrible. Like I'm just like, wow. Like I said no, and you still here. Like dang. But relationships. I feel like at the young age that we are, getting in one is like too much stress. Because you do still have the academic load that you're trying to handle. A lot of people are trying to find themselves. They're trying to find what they're passionate about. And I feel like you will waste too much time trying to be passionate about another person when you could waste more time really trying to improve yourself as a person and academically. I feel like girls come with the perception of I can find my husband in college. And males come with the perception of there's so many women around and I'll only be this young once in my life, and that's where the contradiction and the confliction comes among males and females, and that's like really like what starts the disconnect among people because they're like they said before, like they're sure of what they want, but I feel like you also can't control. Some people can't control their feelings. So like, the more time that you start spending with somebody, you could really like, mess with them tough, and you'll really like bond with them and vibe with them. But you're just not ready for a relationship. And I feel like that's like something that we as young people have to understand, that just because you vibe with somebody and that you start spending more time with them, that doesn't automatically equivalent to we need to be in a relationship or you need to exclusively be mine. But they could just be a male standpoint. I like to know what girls have to say about that.
Yeah, me too. But I hear you talk about being able to, have control. So when I think about that, and something that you said as well, I'm thinking about the emotional piece. So as it relates to trying to focus on your academics, right? And then, how when we get involved emotionally, like, if somebody that you love, let's just think of your parents, right? If things weren't going right in that aspect. You love them, and emotionally, it's going to kind of have you down, right? And not a so good place. So if you're trying to establish those types of relationships now that you're in college and trying to focus on your studies, and you're not mature enough to handle that emotional piece, so that when something happens that kind of gets you down, and maybe there's some divisiveness, you know, going on because of whatever has happened, then it can definitely have a negative impact on your studies. So interesting that you said what you said when you began, because when my kids left home, I told both of them, I have a son and I have a daughter, and I told both of them, look, just date, just have fun. I had to clarify what I meant. Like, I'm not asking you to just be ratchet, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, what I was afraid of is that they would become very emotionally attached to someone and would not be able to handle being let down in that way, right? Because it's kind of like, as a parent, when we have to trust you guys to drive, right? You guys think we're being so over the top. We trust what we taught you. We just can't trust the other driver. We don't know what's going to happen with them, right? So it's the same concept, that when you leave home, and I say as a parent, just date and have fun. Like, it's because I trust what I taught my child. I don't trust necessarily what the other parent may or may not have said to their child. And I don't want some young guy just, mentally and emotionally abusing my daughter. Or my son, you know, who I thought was a great catch, although he didn't have a father around, you know, growing up. But still, my thing was, I don't want some young lady, you know, that he's just head over heels with, right? You know what I'm saying? To do something that would cause him to get stagnated in following his dreams, you know, and keeping his focus. So, you know, I think all of you have a really good point about it. You know, but I think the maturity level, being able, can you balance and stay focused, you know, in the midst of it all, is going to be the key to it, because relationships are normal. They're a normal part of life, you know, but it's just like anything else. You got to know when, you know, how. The how is important. The who is, okay, so I just need one little promise from all four of you, because I know the holidays are about over and you're going to be headed back to school. So I'm just going to ask that you'll promise me when you come back, we'll sit down and talk again. When you guys come back for your next break, will you promise me that? I thank you all so much for being here today. I've enjoyed it, and I've actually learned so much from all of you. And I thank you so much. And we will see you guys next Saturday at the same time on D2D in the chat room, 94.7 FM.